Hey everybody, I'm Dave, joined by Oscar Deus.
Hello, Dave. How are you?
I'm alright. Back from Stockholm, saw Star Wars Battlefront 2 beta.
How was it?
It was great.
It was great. That's it. Video over.
Thrilling to go into more details. You're a big Star Wars fan, so you're going to ask me some questions. What do you want to know?
Firstly, I want to know, what did you actually get to play?
So I got like 4 hours. It was an hour with the arcade mode, an hour with Galactic Assault, an hour with Starfighter Assault, and an hour with Strike. So 4 modes.
Right. Talk to me about each of those in turn in a very boring, monotonous way, Dave.
Arcade is basically, I feel like it's a bit surplus to requirements. Like, you can earn points in arcade, but you're limited to how many you can earn in a day, just so you can't just go offline and farm. But really, it's just a way to play offline. There's a couple of challenges involved. The biggest draw really is an opportunity to play with like new loadouts and new weapons and stuff before you actually jump into the game.
Right.
Arcade was just...
So it's kind of like a training mode, I guess?
That was the vibe I got from it, or at least that's, I think, the way I would use it for.
Yeah.
But that's me. Starfighter Assault we saw at Gamescom. Still just as exciting. It's had some tweaks to the HUD. Imperial versus Rebels.
Imperium.
Imperium's a bloody Warhammer 40k thing. My other nerd self is showing.
Yeah.
So it's Rebels versus Empire. Rebels destroying the Star Destroyer. Same stuff we saw at Gamescom. Galactic Assault was the main draw. That was 20v20. It was on Naboo. Their big draw, competitive, objective-based game mode. That was one they led with at E3. Clone Troopers versus the Separatist droids. That's when you see the big MTT going down into the palace. Considering it was like Episode 1 era, it was actually still quite nice to play through it because there wasn't any Gungans. So the worst bit wasn't even in there.
I was going to say, Episode 1's the best one, right?
Oh, God. Please don't dislike this video just because they're coming. Please, I beg you. And then Strike is the smaller competitive mode. So it's 8v8. The map we played was like Force Awakens era. First Order's trying to steal an artifact, get it away. In that mode, there's like no heroes, there's no vehicles. It's much smaller scale. Whereas in Galactic Assault, you can have super heavy classes, you can get vehicles, you can get like aircraft, and you can obviously get the heroes.
Yeah. So talk to me about the vehicle combat. Is that similar to the first game where some of the maps have ships that you can jump in and go and fight against other ships, or is
Well, obviously Starfighter Assault is all vehicle.
Yeah.
Only Galactic Assault, I believe, has like a big draw for the vehicle stuff. But thankfully, they've changed that really stupid pickup system. Do you remember in Battlefront 1, it like just a glowing orb would appear?
Yeah, it was like a token, right?
Yeah. Run at it and then just get on your mobile phone and start calling stuff in.
Yeah.
Thankfully, that's gone. Instead, they've got a battle point system, which is way better, but I still have a couple of reservations.
Right.
But you earn battle points for getting kills, playing the objective, doing stuff with your team, basically playing the game. The better you play the game, the more objective focused you are, the more objectives you do, the more kills you get, the more tokens you earn. Then you redeem those tokens on the respawn screen for vehicles, heavy classes, and heroes. The thing I'm concerned about is like, I don't mean to toot my own horn, but I was playing pretty decently.
Oh, get you.
I play games. And even I struggle to get some of the heroes. And my concern is that things like the hero pickups are going to be reserved for the people who really know how to play the game, which I feel like might be unfair.
Yeah,
like if you're not great at the game, you should still have an opportunity to experience all of it.
Yeah, every now and again, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to have, like, it probably should be a reward-based system so that the best players do get to play it more often, but I'm not great at shooters, I'm okay, but if I never get to play as Han Solo or whoever, then I'm probably not going to want to play as much as someone else.
Yeah, I don't know how they're going to tweak it. I don't know how, like, if in previous games, if you're not great shooting, you can still support your team with like in Battlefield, you can still support your team with resurrections and healing kits and ammo kits. I don't know how many points you're going to get for playing the objective. There isn't really anything like healing kits and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure how it's going to work, but for me at least, like, I was getting super powerful vehicles and heroes. And then because I was playing really well as those super powerful heroes and vehicles, I was earning more battle points, which kind of created a snowball effect.
Yeah.
And there were actually like people playing in the room that were getting really frustrated with it because they weren't able to catch up. Like, because there's a walker which is like super OP at the minute. Like even the dev said, yeah, it's a bit OP. We need to adjust it. I don't know if it's been adjusted for the beta, but I mean they were admitting this 2 weeks ago, so it should be adjusted for when the game comes out. But if I'm just, snowballing through heroes and vehicles and dominating the map, the enemy team has no real chance to like get some momentum back.
Yeah.
That might come in the way of like new star cards. There could be like super powerful anti-vehicle star cards, but then that relies on people having said star cards and getting the opportunity to use them. But I mean, all that being said, it is way better than a token appearing on the map and then everyone abandoning the objective to run to the token. The first one gets it, and then just strolling up with an 80-80 or like running in as Luke and dying real fast. So it might need tweaking, but it is way better. I think it's going to be something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, definitely. Hopefully the beta will allow them, if it's not been tweaked for the beta, it'll allow them to tweak it for the actual final
I think
release.
it's going to be something that we're going to have to keep an eye on, like you said, in the release rather than the beta, because I think it is something that needs to be seen with like a huge amount of people playing it, so you can really get into the nitty-gritty numbers of it.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to have to wait on that one. But still, way better than tokens.
Awesome, yeah. Now, you mentioned star cards there. I am dumb and an idiot, so talk to me about star cards. What are star cards? Am I a star card?
Absolutely not. Maybe a bronze one. I've played the game, and I'm still kind of confused as to what star cards are. But they're a way to augment your classes. So you can get a star card that will give you like change one of your class abilities. You can get a star card which is like a passive ability. You can get them via like there's another game with a loot crate system, so you can earn loot crates and get them through that. And then I think
excellent stuff.
You can earn crafting materials and use those to create or improve star cards.
Right.
Again, it's quite a tricky system.
Yeah, because I've seen some stuff on them, but I'm still kind of confused by them.
I mean, I got 4 hours of the beta, but like that isn't a long time to progress a character or earn a lot of star cards. So like similar to Battlefront 1, it took a while for you to get a lot of cards that could really change your class.
Yeah.
There were a few that could like really change your class, like the heavy. You could just get a barrage star card that obviously gives you a completely different ability. So there are like different levels of how much you can change your class.
Sure.
But then it's just you just have to earn them.
Yeah.
Which is going to take time, which you don't really get time for in the small amount of time I had.
That was one of my main criticisms of the first Battlefront, was that it never really felt I was progressing. It was like when I first jumped in, it was amazing and it was awesome, and I was in Star Wars and it was like the sound was amazing and it looked amazing and wow, this is like my childhood dream come true. But then 10 hours later and I'm still doing the same things and the buzz was kind of wearing off a little bit. I know you only played a few hours of it, but do you have any sense so far that the progression is going to be any better, or you feel like you're going to be progressing past just that initial wow moment? Do you think that it is going to be deeper than the first game?
Yeah, both in the progression system and that and keeping the wow factor alive. The progression system is that there is more depth to it. Like there's triple the amount of like classes, heroes, and vehicles that you can, customize and build upon. The tiered star cards obviously help with that. But really, like you mentioned, like the wow factor kind of dying down. I actually think the fact that they have 3 eras of Star Wars helped in that manner for me.
Yeah.
Because like while the previous game did have a lot of wow factor, like you were on Hoth and like you saw the walkers and the snow speeders, that was great. But now you get to like relive the 3 eras. So when I was playing as the original trilogy, I was like, yeah, cool, X-Wings, TIE Fighters, I can get on board with this, I recognize this. And then when it was in like the prequel trilogy, well, obviously the movies are touchy subjects. It was still like, I remember this from my childhood. This is like Battlefront 2, like seeing like the Naboo Palace.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
like,
You remember how
droids.
Episode 1 is the best film? Yeah.
Bloody hell! You're just gonna regret doing this with you. And then it was obviously really cool, like playing as like the First Order and Rey, and seeing like the new ships from like the new trilogy. So it's like you get like 3 tiers of nostalgia, depending on how old you are and how much you've seen Star Wars. I think.
That's great. It's like fun for all the family, except with blasters and guns and Star Wars is fun. Star Wars is fun. Yeah. It's fine. Great. I'm really looking forward to it. But the last thing I want to ask you about is, I'm hoping the sound has not got any worse, because the sound was like incredible in the first one.
I've ever done a game with bad sound.
Yeah, like their sound design is incredible.
That was what blew me away in the first one. I remember vividly the first time I threw a thermal imploder and it made that boom sound.
Yeah.
It is still amazing. Like the sound really is like a massive source of nostalgia, because when you hear that TIE fighter, that screech, and that when you're playing as Darth Maul and you hear the two lightsaber blades just burst out, and even the droids, like the droid voice they had in episode 1 that was like kind of comedic, and you can hear that going over the radio when you're playing on the droid side all the time. It very much feels like you're in the Star Wars universe.
Yeah.
It's even got the same accent for the clone troopers. I can't remember the actor's name, but they all had Jango Fett's voice.
Yeah, yeah.
That's still the same.
Is Jar Jar Binks in it?
I don't know. I didn't see him, but it really wouldn't surprise me if in a DLC or something
I would love
bring
it
out
if
Jar
he's
Jar for
a hero. Yeah, I want to play as Jar Jar Binks.
Secret Sith, isn't he?
That theory is incredible.
I'm all aboard on that theory. I ain't seen him, but it really wouldn't surprise me if he ended up in the game or an expansion or something.
Please, DICE, make it happen.
So those are my thoughts on the beta that I played, at least. Everyone else is going to get their hands on it on the
October the 6th,
and then
October
people
the 4th.
have pre-ordered for the October the 4th,
for those, yeah.
and then it comes out on
November the 17th.
Right, so not that long.
No.
Another dose of Star Wars.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to it. Actually, more than I kind of realised.
And you can play that for a month, and then you go see the next movie in December.
Awesome.
Season of Star Wars is back, boys.
Yes, mate.
All right, well, for everything else, Star Wars Battlefront 2 and everything else Star Wars, really, make sure you go to GameSpot.com. Peace!